To the Republican presidential debate, live from North Charleston. We want to jump right back in. Sandra's kicking it off.
All right, thanks, Trish. Well, let's get started with Ms. Fiorina. Today, the middle class represents about 50% of the U.S. population, down from about 61% back in 1971. That's according to Pew Research. The same research reveals a widening income gap in America, the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. What will you do to strengthen middle class that is no longer the majority?
For decades, the professional political class of both parties has been talking about the middle class. For decades, Republicans in particular have been talking about reducing the size and scope of government, spending less money, reducing the complexity. And yet, for 40 years, the government has gotten bigger and more expensive. We now have a 75,000-plus page tax code, although politicians have run for office for decades promising reform. And all the while, middle-class incomes have stagnated. You see, when government gets bigger and bigger, more powerful, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and the middle class gets squeezed. We need to understand who the job creators are in this country, because we need more jobs to grow the middle class and to grow the wages of the middle class. Who creates jobs? Small businesses, new businesses, family-owned businesses. They create two-thirds of the new jobs in this country, and they employ half the people. I started out typing for a 9-person real estate firm. My husband, Frank, started out driving a tow truck for a family-owned auto body shop, and we are crushing small businesses and destroying the middle class. So here's my blueprint to take back America. Let us first actually reform the tax code from 73,000 pages down to 3. There's a 20-year-old plan to do exactly that. And then let us begin piece by piece to focus on every single dollar the government spends so that we will spend less overall and still have enough for our priorities. And that requires the government to budget the way you do at home. Examine every dollar, cut any dollar, move any dollar. The fancy term for that is zero-based budgeting, but I call it common sense. Citizens, we got to take our country back.
Thank you, Ms. Fiorina.